Being the golden child in a narcissistic family isn't what most people think. It looks like love, success, and special treatment, but it's actually control, manipulation, and conditional approval. Whether you were always the golden child, or you were promoted to that role after a sibling passed away, distanced themselves, or was discarded, today we're talking about what that means for you now, as an adult. More importantly, we'll talk about how to break free. If you grew up as the golden child or were suddenly crowned by your narcissistic parent later in life, please like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who might still be living inside this emotional illusion. What feels like honor may actually be a trap. What does it mean to be the golden child as an adult? As an adult golden child, you might still hear, "You're the only one I can count on. You've always been my favorite. Don't be like your brother and sister, they were ungrateful. You're successful because of me." It may feel good, it may sound like admiration, but look closer, it's not about you, it's about them. Your parent is still controlling the narrative, they are still using you as a symbol of their own self-worth. Being the golden child is an emotional contract. It says, "I will perform for you, and in return, you will approve of me." But approval is not love, it's a reward for compliance, and if you stop complying, that reward disappears. So even in adulthood, the golden child walks a tightrope. You fear disappointing your parent. You feel responsible for their happiness. You minimize your own needs. You sacrifice your truth to keep their approval, and you may not even realize you're doing it, because it feels normal. It's what you were trained to do. The golden child role can be transferred. Sometimes you weren't always the golden child. You may have been the ignored one or even the scapegoat, until one day, the previous golden child vanished from the scene. They passed away, went no contact, failed to live up to expectations, and suddenly, you're the favorite, the special one, the chosen one. This is not a compliment. It's a red flag, because love shouldn't be reassigned like a job opening. If you were promoted, it means the role, not the relationship, is what matters to the narcissistic parent. You didn't earn love, you inherited a function. Why is this a red flag for your real-life success? Because being the golden child creates a false sense of confidence, not rooted in who you really are, but in how you make the narcissist feel. This can lead to real-world problems. You may depend on external validation and collapse without it. You may expect special treatment in workplaces and relationships, and feel crushed when it doesn't happen. You may struggle to handle failure, because you were trained to always win or appear perfect. You may avoid risk, honesty, or growth because it threatens your perfect image. It creates an illusion. You think you're successful, but the version of success you were given is hollow. Let's pause here. If any of this is hitting a nerve, tap like, and if you haven't yet, subscribe, because understanding your emotional conditioning is the first step to actual freedom. Drawbacks of staying the golden child as an adult. 1. Identity loss. You may not know who you are without the parent's voice in your head. You may not know what you believe, like, or value because you've spent your life pleasing someone else. 2. Emotional enmeshment. You may feel guilt for making your own decisions. You may share too much with your parent. You may feel like their emotional caretaker. 3. Blocked relationships. Your parent may subtly sabotage your friendships, marriage, or independence because they want to be the most important person in your life. 4. Hidden resentment. Even if you defend your parent, a quiet voice inside you might be angry, tired, or confused. But you shut it down because expressing it feels like betrayal. 5. Fear of falling. You live with the unspoken fear. What if I mess up? What if I stop being the golden one? What if I become like the others? This fear keeps you stuck and small. Breaking free starts with awareness. 1. Recognize the role. Admit to yourself. I was trained to be the golden child. This isn't shameful, it's honest. 2. Separate approval from love. Ask, if I stop pleasing them, will they still respect me? If not, what you've been getting is not love, it's control. 3. Build your own definition of success. Golden children are often told what success should look like. Prestige, status, performance, perfection. Ask yourself, what do I actually want? Your parents' pride is not your purpose. 4. Expect pushback. When you change, the narcissistic parent often responds with guilt, manipulation, silent treatment, outright rage. That's not proof that you're wrong. It's proof that you're stepping out of their control. 5. Develop boundaries. You are not responsible for your parents' feelings. You can say no. You can take space. You can have secrets. You can be a grown adult, even if they still see you as their golden puppet. Why should you try to break free? Because staying golden means staying dependent. Because your life is worth more than performance. Because you deserve relationships where you're loved for your soul, not your usefulness. And because if you don't break free, you'll likely repeat the cycle. You'll become emotionally drained, burnt out, or controlling with your own children, friends, or spouse. The illusion of the golden child is seductive, but it is just that, an illusion, and illusions always collapse. Signs you're starting to heal. You feel less guilty saying no. You stop explaining yourself. You feel more comfortable making mistakes. You start asking, who am I outside of them? You may grieve what you thought you had, but also feel relief that the mask is falling off. Healing isn't loud, it's quiet, it's clear, and it feels like peace. What if you're still close to the narcissistic parent? You don't have to go no contact, but emotional freedom requires mental distance. Start by limiting what you share, watching for guilt tripping, refusing to take sides in family conflicts, practicing neutral responses like, I'll think about that, or that's your opinion. Even small shifts can start to shake the emotional cage. Final thoughts. Being the golden child feels like being loved. But it's not real love. It's a trap in golden wrapping. You are chosen, praised, rewarded, but only as long as you play your part. The moment you try to become yourself, the illusion breaks. And that's okay. Let it break. Because your real life begins after the performance ends. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be admired. You just need to be free. If this talk helped you or gave you clarity, please like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who's still trapped in a role they didn't choose. You are not the golden child. You are you, and that is more than enough. See you in the next one. Until then, choose peace, not perfection. Choose freedom, not performance. Choose you.